back to $2 Garage, and today we have a very interesting find. This is a Saab, or a Saturn, twin cam station wagon. Is it manual? That would be even better. Yes, it is manual. Even got a stick, wow. So in the late 1980s, there was the Pontiac Fiero, which played with the idea of the plastic car, plastic body panels. A lot of it was replaceable and it was supposed to be cheap and efficient. Now, we all know if you know the story of the Fiero, you know the story that it died. That being said, the idea lived on. In the late 1980s, a company named Saturn, a subset of GM, came around, and they had a few different concepts. Number one, they did not follow your typical dealership haggling structure. Number two, they were somewhat more independent from GM than the other branches, so they had way less part sharing and platform sharing and badge engineering. And number three, they had a little more freedom. These came out in the early to mid 1990s, and these things sold like hotcakes. They were cheap and they were plentiful. They were the cheap transportation of choice for all kinds of people. So we can see there's plenty of Saturns still lurking around here in the GM row. You could get your basic car. This was very cheap, with roll-up windows, cloth seats. You could even not get a radio. And if you were a real cheapskate like this one, you don't need primer on your bumper. You could get a coupe. Of course, automatic. You could get a single cam motor, or if you want to spend a little more money, have a little more fun, you could get the dual overhead cam here, the 16 valve, baby. Yeah, look at that motor. Now, these did have a habit of burning oil like every high revving engine, but this is also a wagon. You could get a coupe, a four-door sedan. And of course, by the late 1990s, Saabs were selling like hotcakes. Saturns were selling like hotcakes. They were doing really well. And unfortunately, the rest of the GM brands got jealous. And what happened was they came in, they complained enough, and the GM brand eventually neutered them, and that was the beginning of the end. Saturn did make some cars after this. There was more platform sharing. They did make some cool stuff with like V8s and like a Saturn Ion Redline. Cool stuff like that, but ultimately they became just another GM brand, and they went out of business in the 2009 bailout. So unfortunately, the interesting idea of Saturn, the pioneer, the innovator, is no more. Being said, these manual wagons still exist. So I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to leave a like, favorite, and subscribe. This has been $2 Garage. Have a nice day.